SkyTour News for October 15th to the 21st. I'm Amanda Curran. October 18th, 1967. Venera 4 becomes the first probe to send back data from Venus. Venera 4 was a probe in the Soviet Venera program for the exploration of Venus. The probe comprised of an entry probe designed to enter the Venus atmosphere and parachute to the surface, and a carrier flyby spacecraft, which carried the entry probe to Venus and served as a communications relay for the entry probe. It was the first successful probe to perform in-place analysis of the environment of another planet. It may have also been the first probe to land on another planet, with the fate of its predecessor Venera 3 being unclear. Venera 4 provided the first chemical analysis of the Venetian atmosphere, showing it to be primarily carbon dioxide, with a few percentage of nitrogen and below 1% of oxygen and water vapors. The station detected a weak magnetic field and no radiation field. The outer atmospheric layer contained very little hydrogen and no atomic oxygen. The probe sent the first direct measurements proving that Venus was extremely hot and that its atmosphere was far denser than expected, and that it had lost most of its water long ago. Venera 4 was launched on June 12, 1967, and a course correction was performed on July 29, when it was 12 million kilometers away from Earth. Otherwise, the probe would have missed Venus. Although two such corrections had been planned, the first one was accurate enough, and therefore the second correction was cancelled. On October 18, 1967, the spacecraft entered the Venetian atmosphere with an estimated landing place near 19 degrees north, 38 degrees east, in a descent that lasted 93 minutes when the signal transmission terminated. October 15, 1997. NASA launches the Cassini-Huygens probe to Saturn. The Cassini-Huygens mission, commonly called Cassini, was a collaboration between NASA, the European Space Agency, and the Italian Space Agency to send a probe to study the planet Saturn and its system, including its rings and natural satellites. The flagship-class robotic spacecraft comprised both of NASA's Cassini probe and ESA Huygens lander, which landed on Saturn's largest moon, Titan. Cassini was the fourth space probe to visit Saturn, and the first to enter its orbit. Launched on October 15, 1997, Cassini was active in space for nearly 20 years, with 13 years spent orbiting Saturn, studying the planets and its systems after entering orbit on July 1, 2004. The voyage to Saturn included flybys of Venus, Earth, the asteroid 2685 Masursky, and Jupiter. Its mission ended on September 15, 2017, when Cassini's trajectory took it into Saturn's upper atmosphere, and it burned up in order to prevent any risk of contaminating Saturn's moons, which might have offered habitable environments to stow away terrestrial microbes on the spacecraft. The Huygens module traveled with Cassini until its separation from the probe on December 25, 2004, and was landed by parachute on Titan on January 14, 2005. It returned data to Earth for around 90 minutes, using the orbiter as a relay. This was the first landing ever accomplished in the outer solar system, and the first landing on a moon other than our own. The mission is widely perceived to have been successful beyond expectation. Cassini-Huygens had been described by NASA's Planetary Science Division Director as a mission of firsts that has revolutionized human understanding of the Saturn system, including its moons and rings, and our understanding of where life might have been found in the solar system. October 15, 2003. China launches Tianzhou-5, their first manned space mission. Tianzhou-5 was the first human spaceflight mission of the Chinese space program, launched on October 15, 2003. China became the third country in the world to have independent human spaceflight capability after the Soviet Union, later Russia, and the United States. The launch was wildly heralded in the official Chinese state media, with newspapers devoting far more space to the launch than any recent event, and while the Chinese media portrayed the launch as a triumph for Chinese science and technology, and a milestone for Chinese nationalism, it had also been pointed out in both Chinese and Western media that Commander Yang Liwei showed the flag of the United Nations in addition to the flag of the People's Republic of China. The state media also reported that crop seeds from Taiwan were also brought aboard the spacecraft. General Secretary and President Hu Jintao, in an official celebration at the Great Hall of the People, hailed China's success in launching its first manned spacecraft into orbit, describing it as an honor of our great motherland, an indicator for the initial victory of the country's first manned space flight, and for a historic step taken by the Chinese people in their endeavor to surmount the peak of the world science and technology. Hu added, "The party and the people will never forget those who have set up this outstanding merit in the space industry for the motherland, the people, and the nation." The launch was met with praise from around the world. The Prime Minister of Japan called the launch a great feat, and the United States President, George W. Bush, congratulated Chinese President Hu and wished China continued success. The spacecraft has since featured prominently in festivals and celebrations, not only in China, but also in foreign countries, such as an official North Korean commemorative stamp showing the first Chinese manned spacecraft along the DPRK's first satellite, Kwangmyongsang-1. This is SkyTour News. I'm Amanda.